So if there is a possibility after tonight that it may go in, we're all here because we got an opinion on the campground. So most everyone that showed up tonight, as far as I'm concerned, they really don't live around here. I mean, when you take the majority, I mean, I've seen the hands, small majority that do live around here. It does not affect your life or the quality of your life. But you're here because you have an opinion that affects the lifestyles of others, but not yours. I have an opinion because I directly affect it. It does not affect anybody except those that are associated or connected directly to it. I can value that opinion and anybody else's opinion connected to it. Everybody else's opinion is like my opinion of Jesse. It's worthless. It's not a community that wants this here. But apparently opinion matter, and that's why we are here. As long as you agree, because if you don't, you come under attack. And I'm sure that you have all seen the posts and read the comments. They are terrible. We are good people, and because we share a different opinion, this type of attack should not happen. We have the same right as Camp Lokee to fight for our dreams, but not according to the campground. Just to be clear, we do not oppose the campground. A lot of people would like a campground, but we are not, but where you put it should not impact the wildlife, the people, and their lifestyle around it, nor should the people have to come under attack. That's why we oppose.
My name's Ray Butler. My wife and I live here, just so everyone knows. My wife and I are against the proposed campground. We believe the campground does not meet the standards applicable for all special use permits, section 808D, 8A, which is harmony, 8B, which is decreasing the value of neighboring properties, and 8D, which is noise and sight. We do not believe it meets the construction of campground, section 611B, 3I, which is improvements and buffering, as well as the comprehensive plan. I understand that this is Pavilion. However, the design of the proposed campground is far more invasive to the existing residential homes than surrounding campgrounds are, and far more harmonious with their residential ag communities. If other communities can do this, so can we. I've got a list on the chart of the different surrounding campgrounds. For example, residential home, edge of the home, closest to the campsite, this project 150 feet. The next closest one out of the four that I listed is the Ridge, which is 460 feet. Residential home to the pool, this project 200 feet. Next closest one is Lee Ty, which is 700 feet. Residential home to the registration building, this project 210 feet. The next closest one, Southwoods, is at 620 feet. The project is not harmonious with the rural agricultural residential character of the neighborhood. The site plan places a registration office, professional office, community building with a pool, with a propane filling station within 70 yards of our home for a potential 300-ish campsites with their guests, invitees, and employees. For example, the one thing we have a concern with is the propane tank being right here. It's obviously a filling tank. To us, it doesn't make sense to put it here when you've got in and out traffic, which means that to fill their tank, they're going to have to cross the traffic to fill the propane tank. We know they're not heating the building with it because there's natural gas. The proposed project does not have enough buffering and distance from our home and will create undue noise, lighting glare, odor, and unsightliness. The plan shows a maintenance building here. Shows a maintenance building of unknown size within 50 feet of our home, but the owner may opt to move that closer. It's just the wording in the proposal. And we would actually suggest the maintenance building be put back here, which would be out of the way of the campers and out of the way of the neighbors. At the December Planning Board meeting, we were led to believe that there would be 2 rows of 5.5-foot evergreens bordering our property to the north and the west. This site plan only proposes roughly 1/2 of the open area of our abutting properties to have 3 to 4-foot evergreens, and does not mention the type, spacing from each other, or distance off the property line. Thought that that was an expectation. We believe all of the Norway spruce should be planted as soon as possible, not one some upcoming year and the following ones the following year after that, because we all know if you plant a 3-foot pine tree there, we can see over it. The proposed project should not only The proposed location, nature, and height of the buildings will impair the value of our home, and I've attached professional opinions from an appraiser and also a realtor that concur with that, and the reasonings why.
Ray, I'm going to have to give about
Yeah, I'll just do this last one.
The 1 minute.
Yep. The proposed project should only be for a campground and campground-related activities. There should not be another business, special use, on the site, and there should not be a secondary use for the registration building to host gatherings of people, which is in the engineering report, page 2. And then what I want to know is, where are the dumpsters? Okay, I'll leave it at that.
I just wanted to say that I think it's a great idea. You know, the community should support it based on a tax base, and as your job, they're well in their means of codes. It's your job to vote it as a yes.
Great idea. I'm not a camper, but my friends and family are. Make them closer to us so we can spend more time with them. And I walk all the time, so having extra hiking trails is awesome to me. So I think it's a great idea, great for the community. So hopefully it goes.
About 6 years. This is going to be our 7th year camping. I live on Roanoke, probably about 3.5 miles away. We got 3 kids. They are 12, 13, and 15. We are living in a digital world where kids just want to sit and home, play their video games. When we go camping, they don't even want to look at their phone. They don't even want to do anything with it. Last couple of years, COVID's made a lot of stuff tough to do with your family, to go places. One of the things that never got shut down was campgrounds. More campgrounds will be better because it's getting very tough to find places to go camping. I think this is a wonderful thing for all of us. I look forward to it. It's 3 miles away, and we'll visit it a couple times a year because we like to travel. But more campgrounds we got, it's better. Our generation's going forward. We need to get our kids off of video games and stuff, get them out and doing stuff like this.
The applicant is a landowner in district that allows of such usage. This is not strictly residential zone, it's not in the hamlet. This is an AR1 district which allows items such as motels, airports, motor vehicle shops, animal repair, animal waste storage facilities, and campgrounds defined by the Pavilion zoning code. This type of usage is far within the scope of the AR1 district. It will create jobs. I look forward to it, similar to like someone else said. My children and others will have a good place to work. It'll work perfect for them. It's local, it's safe, it's in a great location. It will keep them off their Xbox, and it'll instill a work ethic in them and provide them with lifelong experiences. I think it'd be perfect for the town. We mentioned water. I think it potentially could bring additional water to the area. Sorry, I'm a little shaky here.
You're doing good.
A special use permit is an authorization to use land in a way which is permitted by zoning, subject to the requirements designed to assure that the proposed use is in harmony with its zoning law, and the use will not adversely affect the neighborhood if the requirements are met. This is a seasonal business, bringing in year-round taxes, which will support the local economy and reduce the taxes for all of the residents. I was on the comprehensive plan, I think a couple of others were, several years ago, and the key role of that was to attract small and medium businesses to the area, which among other things will grow the tax base. Denying the application, in my opinion, will be directly against the comprehensive plan goals for the town, and the Genesee County Planning Board has already recommended approval for the special use permit with stipulation that the stormwater permit is obtained from the DEC, and I feel the board should do the same.
I'm Jerry Harding. I'm a lifetime Pavilion resident. I grew up in this community, went to Pavilion school. All my kids are still here. There is not a lot to do in our town for fun, and to have a place like this with the hiking trails that they're implementing, disc golf is a possibility, just many things that you can go there and enjoy. Swimming, ponds, fishing. I think it's a great place for the community, as well as the tax revenue that it will bring to the town, and the outside money that it'll bring in from other people coming to visit our town, staying here, and going to the local businesses. I mean, it's bringing money in our town from other places, which is a good thing. That's all I really got to say.
And I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why I'm opposed to the campground. And I did give Jesse and Jolene the courtesy of inviting them to my home and shared with them the same reasons. And unfortunately, I came to this party a little bit late. I am a new resident to the town of Pavilion, just a year and a half. But I grew up in Leroy, so I'm not a stranger to rural living, country living. That's why I moved back home to live in a quiet country rural area. I do have concerns of having, actually I had written down 80 new seasonal neighbors to the area, but after listening, it sounds like it's closer to 145. Primarily for privacy. You know, first and foremost is privacy as well as the safety. When I think about safety, pulling out of my driveway, I'm just over the knoll. It's quick go. I gotta pull out and stay on the wrong side of the road before I can go over. So adding more traffic to Perry Road based on where I live, and there's a home being built across from me, and you know, getting the mail, that's a danger zone that you have to do. So I am concerned from a traffic standpoint. Well, water is a concern. I have a pond in my front yard. You wouldn't think that I would run out of water, but I do. So it's a situation that I'm personally dealing with at this point. So when I see some wells going in, and I'm uphill from all of this, I'm not an engineer. I don't understand all of these things, but it is a concern in terms of even the water pieces of it. Again, full transparency, I had a very good conversation with Jesse and Jolene about community relations. You know, I work in human resources. That's my professional.
These people that are for it, their home is not right next to this thing. They're not going to be affected by the noise, the lights, sound, the smell, the traffic, and litter. With a bunch of transient people coming in and out of this place.
Traffic.
Where that driveway is, that's a pretty dangerous spot right there, okay? There's neighbors that drive up and down that road. They could get in an automobile accident there, okay? This berm has never been discussed, okay? It was supposed to be 10 feet tall to begin with, and then, oh, well, we don't want to make it that tall. Well, it's supposed to be 10 feet tall and with some vegetation planted on it. Again, there's been no spacing about it. There's a lot of unanswered questions.